What is up, YouTube? It's Skill Up here. I am back from my holiday or vacation, whatever it is you guys call it. I have just been married. That happened. I had a honeymoon in Hawaii after that. It rained for like 3 days straight, but we still had a really good time. Settle down, everyone. So now I'm back, though. Very pleased to be back. Really looking forward to covering the Division in detail, as I always like to do. And the very first thing I want to kick off with is the weekly Should I Buy It vendor reset video. I know it is late. I know the vendors did reset a few days ago. However, people are still asking for it for this week, and I thought it would be a really good warm-up video to help me get back in the swing of things. So I thought, why not? And with that, let's begin. At the weapons vendor in the base of operations, he's selling a fairly decent burst fire MP5A4. It's got predatory, deadly, and unforgiving on it. Nice combination of talents. The burst fire weapons across the board are not strong because their actual rate of fire is significantly lower than other weapons, even though they list the same RPM. However, they can be quite fun to use and they have really nice base damage. It's particularly good for console players who maybe struggle to maintain consistent aim. So if you're someone that's looking for a nice, stable weapon to use that's also a little bit different and off meta, this one might be for you. At the advanced weaponry vendor in the base of operations, here's something you might not know. We all know the Pecan is an excellent weapon, but did you know that each week its role actually changes in terms of its base damage? This week it has an exceptionally high roll, like really high, like 95th percentile sort of roll. And for that reason, it could actually be an upgrade for you, even if you already have a Pecan. Check it out yourself, see what you're using, see if this is better. There's a very good chance that it is. And if it is, my recommendation is to buy one. It's only 1.6 million credits. It's one of the best weapons in the game. It's got one of the highest base damages or per bullet damage of any weapon class. It's just a fantastic weapon to have, and it's a great roll at that. So do check that one out. There's a fairly nice enhanced ACRE here. It's got deadly, prepared, and fierce. Deadly and fierce actually synergize well together. It's all about that crit damage. Prepared, I would probably recommend rolling that one away. 30 meters is a fairly long engagement distance for an ACR, so I'd probably go for something else like brutal or destructive. And there's also a really nice military Scar H, which is a marksman rifle. It's rolled with 160% headshot damage, which is a nice roll. It's got deadly, destructive, and prepared. Prepared is perfect for this. Destructive, top tier talent now in both PvE and PvP. Deadly probably doesn't work this well on this weapon. I would probably roll this one away, going for something else. And finally, for those of you looking to stack plenty of crit, say for instance in PvP, there's a hollow sight here, 552 hollow sight with 7.5% crit hit chance, 4% crit hit damage, and 4% optimal range. It's a large type, sort of fit on your assault rifles, which are all the rage at the moment, as well as your LMGs. Not bad at all. At the special equipment vendor downstairs in the terminal, there's really not much on sale this week. The only thing I'd recommend checking out are these Firecrest gloves here. They've rolled with base firearms. They've got shotgun damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage. If you're running Firecrest, you may want to pick these up and perhaps roll that shotgun damage away for something like an SMG or assault rifle or LMG, whatever your primary weapon is. These are a fairly well-rolled pair of gloves, which is why I wanted to point them out. Nothing else on this vendor really stands out, except for perhaps this foliage green hand stop. It rolls with reload speed. It's an underbarrel mod that has 30% reload speed. Fantastic if you're running something like an MG5 or an M60 or a M249 Bravo. Those sorts of weapons with really long reload times, they work extremely well with this type of hand stop. At the special blueprints vendor, also in the terminal, this guy is selling 2 shotguns this week. He's got the Super 90 variant and he's got the M870. The Super 90 is that fast rate of fire style, whereas the M870 is sort of hard hitting. M870 has copped a huge nerf in patch 1.5, absolutely nowhere near what it once was, but still people love shotguns. I still really enjoy using them. I still think they have a place in the game. They are just not the same one-shot shotguns that they used to be, unless it's under very specific circumstances. He's also selling the Stamina Gear Mod Blueprint. That's the level 34 variant that you can pick up there. The other thing that I would point you to, don't overlook this firearms backpack blueprint. Backpacks are a pretty big deal these days in terms of meta. There's some really great talents that you can get on backpacks. And if you want to be able to roll a firearms based backpack so that you can get something like Specialized, for instance, which is a really popular backpack variant right now, this is the blueprint that you need to do that. So do check that out, see if that works for you. Electronics is also there as a variant, but most people don't like to roll electronics focused items. So check out that firearms backpack blueprint. It could work wonders for your build. At the Dante's Run Safe House, you're going to find here a purple performance mod. Now, the reason I'm pointing it out is because ballistic shield damage is actually quite hard to come by. The better rolls, or the level 34 mods, will roll up to 4.5%. So I mean, yeah, you're definitely losing something here, but it's better than rolling like 50 random performance mods at the crafting station and then maybe getting 2 of them. This is one of the best mods that you can get in the game right now. I'm going to do a video on the defense set soon. I promised it before I left. I didn't have time because I was too busy preparing for my wedding. That video is like half edited now. Please buy some of these shield mods if you're interested in that build, because it's just disgusting what you can do with that build if you build it the way that I'm going to show you in that video. These mods are going to really help you out. They're really cheap. They're only 3%, which is a small trade-off versus the level 34 variants. So yeah, grab a few of them and then let's talk about it later in the week, because you are going to be impressed by what the defense gear set can do. At the Cavern Safe House, you're going to find a first aid self-heal performance mod here. This is just a nice mod to have, particularly if you're playing solo and you're running heal and you're not stacking a lot of electronics. This one will give you a lot more survivability. At the Meat Locker Safe House, continuing with our theme of off-meta picks, there's a double-barreled sword-off here. It's the sidearm shotgun, right? It's the one that you use in your 3rd slot. It's got brutal and responsive on it, which is exactly what you want on this weapon. It's also got determined in that top slot. You can roll that for something else. Nobody uses these. I don't mind using them in PvE. They're quite fun just to sort of run around with the shield in particular. Or obviously if you're just trying to dump your two first weapons without reloading them and then dropping to this one in your 3rd slot when you're out of bullets and everything else. It's good fun to use, so check it out if you're interested. Definitely not a top tier sort of meta pick, but it's nice fun to use. At the Madison's Stand Safe House, there are 2 mods that are really interesting to talk about. The first one is this prototype firearms mod here. It's got 6% increased kill XP. Marco Style recently did a really good video on a farm focused build that was stacking these sorts of mods to be able to sort of rack up really fast sealed caches. I recommend checking out that video if you get the chance. There's also this thing here, this prototype performance mod, ballistic shield damage resilience. If you are using the shield in PvP, maybe this is for you. I will tell you this now, you definitely do not want these for PvE. As I said, I'm going to talk about this later on, but this is absolutely overkill for PvE. You don't need them. You're going to be stacking damage into your shield if you're running the defense gear set, not these. So keep that in mind. If you're running PvP, maybe these work. I don't know. I haven't really tested it, but certainly not for PvE. At the Southpaw Safe House, there's a really nice Seeker Mine damage prototype performance mod. It's rolled with 4% on it, which is not bad at all. Seeker Mines are very popular at the moment because they're actually really good. I really love using them, including with my defense gear set. I use them sometimes with that as well. So yeah, check those out. Not too bad. At the Firewall Safe House, there's a really nice stamina mod that's rolled with bonus armor. The roll on it isn't fantastic. However, this is the #1 mod that you're likely to be using across all of your gear sets. If you haven't already picked up a bunch of these, I recommend doing it this week. At the East 53rd Street DZ checkpoint, you're going to find one of the newly added police UMP 45 SMGs. If RNG has not been on your side, this is a decent way to get it. It rolls with responsive, meticulous, and ambusher. Talents aren't great. Responsive is obviously really nice. I personally don't like ambusher. I almost always roll it away. Meticulous is okay. I probably wouldn't recommend it on this weapon type. But look, if you really want to just give it a go, pick it up. But yeah, you could definitely get better talents elsewhere, so keep hunting. At the East 46th Street DZ checkpoint, those of you looking for a bit more power in your pulse can pick up this prototype performance mod with 2% pulse critical hit chance. does the job. At the East 40th Street DZ checkpoint, there's a small grip here that's actually rolled with 17% critical hit damage, reload speed, and accuracy. Small grips are a little bit hard to come by, and they're the ones that fit into your SMGs. So very often you're going to have an SMG, you want to put something in the underbarrel, and you're going to find that not much fits. This is the kind of mod that does, and it's one of the rare types that actually roll with a damage stat, critical hit damage, which of course synergizes extremely well with SMGs. Take a look at your SMGs right now, see what they're modded with. You're going to find that a lot of them aren't rolled for damage focused stats. This is going to fix that for you, so check it out if you need it. Purchase of the week this week at the East 34th Street DZ checkpoint. There is a lightweight M4. It's got destructive, it's got prepared, it's got adept on it. It's a really nice weapon. The M4 right now is like the meta weapon along with the LVOA-C. I don't quite like it as much as other people do. I'm going to share my thoughts on that later on. But look, overall, it's a very, very solid weapon. You probably want to roll prepared away on this one. Go for something else. Maybe responsive if you're focused on PvP, or, you know, something like brutal if you're focused on PvE. But either way, this is a really, really nice weapon. A very strong all-rounder. I would recommend picking it up if you need it. Just on adept as well. Adept is a really strong talent in that third slot because it usually has a high electronics requirement, and it gives you that nice burst damage to that critical strike chance when you use an ability such as Pulse, and you'll be getting pretty close to that 60% crit hit cap if you've got yourself a decent Pulse plus the right mods plus this one. Not too bad at all. There's also a prototype performance mod here. I know that those reclaimer players or tacticians or whatever that are really keen on running those healer focused builds in the DZ really like support station range, so this one is a good one to pick up at 7.5% roll. Is really nice indeed. At the East 31st Street DZ checkpoint, we've also got a Scar L here. It's another assault rifle. It's rolled with 20% enemy armor damage, which is not bad. It's got responsive, determined, and ferocious. Probably roll away determined on that one, generally speaking. The Scar L is an okay assault rifle. It's definitely not top tier. It's sort of middle of the road, but it's a good all-rounder, and it's nice and stable. It's really nice to use. It's the same as the Caduceus. If anyone's ever used a lot of that, you'll know how it feels. So not a lot of stability modding required in order to keep that under control. Responsive is obviously a really good talent to use if you're going to be comfortable in your engagement ranges in PvE and PvP. Ferocious is great. Obviously, it's a PvE only talent, but rolling in that third slot is fantastic because it typically has a really high electronics requirement. This one might go really well with an Alpha Bridge focused build, for example, and you may want to lean into something like an LVOA or an M4 as your primary assault rifle with this one in your back pocket. At the West 34th Street DZ checkpoint, there's a really nice M60 here. It's got meticulous, capable, and skilled. So, meticulous, I don't like. Lots of people love this on an M60. I think it's overkill, but hey, there it is if you want. It does have that higher electronics requirement, so you may have to equip one electronics mod into a standard build to be able to make it work, but that's easily done. Capable, I don't feel that you need this. Maybe console players might find this useful, but certainly not on a PC. You just don't need that much stability on an M60 in order to keep it under control. And finally, skill, that one in the third slot. Headshot kills with this weapon increase signature skill resources by 5%. This is the one that ensures that you have near 100% signature skill uptime. Really, really nice. It's a really good overall weapon. It's quite functional in terms of it's not really high damage. It's sort of more utility. And then that way, it might be really good for an LMG focused Alpha Bridge build. So check that out if you need it. I certainly would if I was running that kind of build. At the West 53rd Street DZ checkpoint, we've got some decent purchases here. We've got tactical gloves that have rolled with Savage. They've got health on kill, SMG damage, and pistol damage. Obviously, you'd roll the pistol damage away. If you are someone that mains stamina stats in your glove slot, then these could be just for you. There's also a prototype firearms mod here with 242 firearms and 264 armor. The firearms roll is definitely on the low side, but the armor is not too bad at all. This is a perfect complement to the other mod that I spoke about earlier, the stamina and armor mod. This is the other one that you are likely to be putting in your gear. Not bad at all. At the DZ6 safe room, there are two items that I point you to. The first is a pair of Striker's knee pads. It's got base firearms. It's got enemy armor damage in that minus slot, which means all you need to do is change this to armor, which is absolutely what you would do. You have yourself a very nice pair of Striker's knee pads. The other one here are this Reclaimer gloves. They've rolled firearms base, LMG damage, damage to elites, and critical hit chance. Really nice roll for anyone focused on damage while running the Reclaimer build. So yeah, not bad at all. And that's it, guys. That's Should I Buy It for the week. I'm back in business. Obviously, we've got State of the Game coming up soon. I'm going to do a news drop later in the week to catch up on all the big news that's happened in the last little while. Obviously, I've said my defense video is coming, and I've got a ton of videos that I'd like to be working on over the next little while. It's nice to know that we don't have any DLC on the way anytime soon. It means we can focus on exploring the current patch rather than worrying about the future patch. Thank you all for your kind words and support in the last little while, and I'll leave you with a little present that I got in the DZ while I was doing my vendor reset video for the week. I hope you guys enjoy this one. Take good care, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Congratulations, matey. Oh, congratulations anyway.
Pleasure.
That's our gift for you.